Oh,
Wait,
okay.
you're up, Tom?
Oh, well, maybe I'm not. Are you up? I don't remember.
I was, but if you're up...
Oh, baby, you better believe I'm up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So who's making notes?
I have no idea. I can do I can do notes.
Okay, sure.
I'm mentally prepared.
Okay. Thank you. Right. So last time we ended on a rather dramatic, in a rather dramatic moment.
I don't think we did XP last time.
We didn't. Everyone gets 100 then.
Okay. Cool.
Sean, by the way, did you thought about your, mental issue?
Oh.
I guess not.
I did at the time, and then I totally forgot about it. What I think it should be, which would totally suck for the rest of this campaign. I am now deathly afraid of all lizards.
I was thinking about this. Yes.
Like afraid of cold dead eyes.
Yeah.
Like
So it's
I
like
can see you having some sort of like identity thing or some like extreme bipolar, maybe, like, you know what I mean? Because you've been several different people at this point, you know, like with this character even, you know. Like,
well,
so
no,
you feel
I've
pulled
always-
in all these different directions and you just break, you know.
It's up to you. Or we need to choose this very quickly before the game because it's you already have this. We can do the lizard thing, sure, if you want. That said, this will require a willpower test from you every time you encounter a lizard larger than your average the terrarium, whatever it's called, pet lizard. And if you fail, you are paralyzed. So think about this very, very carefully if you want this. Or
I don't want it, but it just makes sense to me because what broke me was the fucking dinosaur popping out of the
yeah, I think so too.
out of the swamp. So that's why I think now he's like, why did it have to be lizards?
Yeah, that's a good reference to Indiana Jones. Sure. Okay, we can do this. So every time you encounter a larger lizard, you must make a willpower test, basic. If you pass, you can act normally. If you fail, you are paralyzed until it's like if you would fail a fear test. If you botch during this test, you get additional insanity point. So I think that's fair. This is a rather basic mental illness, I believe. Nothing too crazy, nothing too fancy, but it fits, as you said yourself. It fits the situation. Okay, so last time Colonel Zieglinde got notice from her from one of the crew that the great white lizard Quadzli was lurking somewhere in the jungle, and the man himself, Henrik Visser, probably remember him. He was one of the Reeker Isle inmates. He led her and a bunch of griffins, as well as Gustav and Johannes, to a small swamp, not far from the camp. It's still raining, although not as like the monsoon has passed, but the occasional pour down is still occurs from time to time. And so in this small swamp surrounded by huge trees, with lianas as thick as men's arm hanging from their mighty branches, you've encountered something. You've encountered a rather large sunken boulder that moved, and then it lifted a great three-horned head. It was a massive reptile, built like an ox, but many times the size. Its mouth was a crushing bird-like beak, and there was this huge bony crest rising from the back of its wedge-shaped skull. Weeds hung from its curving horns, swaying in the air as it focused its beady eyes on the intruders being you. And then you guess that it attacked. None of you, Gustav or Johannes, none of you saw that because, Johannes, something broke inside your mind. It was too much. Everything that happened to you during the last year or so was simply too much, and this was the final straw. Your sanity abandoned you, and you dropped your weapon into the swamp and ran away screaming. Back towards the camp. At least you hope so. Gustav, you, if I recall correctly, you shouted to Neuvo that we've been set up, something like that. and then after Henrik Visser yelled "Every man for himself," which he did, you also ran away. Meanwhile, Lambert, you stayed at the camp. That was mostly because you had to get out early, Michael. So I didn't send you to face the Stegodon because
I get to maintain my sanity.
Yeah, because it did, it did cause terror. So that's probably a good thing. So Gustav, as you. Sorry, actually, before that, of course, we will do the XP. But just let me say that as you were running back towards the camp, you've encountered Johannes, who was curled in the roots of a mighty tree, completely catatonic. I presume, Gustav, that you took him with you. He didn't, put up any resistance.
Stop there and kind of hide for a few.
All right, sure. But before we go any further,
I can go back to camp alone,
Yeah. But before we go any further, I think we should spend XP. Johannes, what are you buying for the 100 XP that I gave you?
Okay. It looks like what I can do is I can finish out the last couple things in my soldier career, and I'll take a plus 10% heal.
Okay.
And mighty shot.
Okay, so that's a total of 300 points,
200.
something. Yeah. Okay.
200.
200 points. Because remember, plus 10 is plus 5 is 100 points.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
No, on the heal skill, because it goes up.
Oh, okay, on the heal skill. Okay, sorry, my bad. Of course, plus 5 to your statistics is 100 points. Of course, plus 10 to your heal skill is only 100. Sure, because they don't go by 5, they go by 10 and then by 20. Okay, so you get plus 10 to your heal and what? Strike, mighty blow, or something like that. Mighty shot.
Mighty shot.
Mighty shot. So you get a plus 1 to damage dealt with any missile weapons. Okay, sure. Gustav, what about you?
Can I get extra 10 concealment?
Yeah, sure, of course, no problem.
Okay, and can I get extra 10, let me update my XP real quick. Shadowing?
Yeah, no problem.
Okay,
so that's 200 already, right? Because those are skills.
And I would like to make an argument for linguistics. I have the trade acting.
Okay.
And I speak 3 languages now, and I've been paying close attention to everybody's accents and everything.
Okay.
I'd like to take linguistics because I'm kind of like career locked with that and pick locked.
Oh, okay. So linguistics is like bonus to speaking languages, yes?
I think so. And understanding.
You have a natural affinity for languages. You gain a plus 10 bonus on read and write speak language tests.
Yeah, sure. You can take it, of course.
Okay.
No problem.
Awesome.
Michael, finally, your turn.
I would like to pick up Master Gunner because I shot down that fucking Pterodon and I
Yep.
think that qualifies.
Yep. That's a Steam achievement.
Reload time of all black powder weapons by half an action and stacks with rapid reload.
Whoa.
So it reduces reload time by a full round or by a full action.
Nice. Okay, sure, of course. No problem with that. You can take it. Anything else, or is that it?
That's it. That's going to cost me like 200 because it's not my current.
Oh, okay, yeah, sure. Okay. In that case, Sean takes notes. Sean, also remember to remove every single insanity point from your character sheet, since you don't have any after getting the illness. Gustav, how long do you wait? Right next to Johannes, who is basically he's like curled, and he's like something like that. Babbling something about huge lizards, horned monstrosities, cold-blooded freaks, stuff like that.
I'm probably interpreting it as like he's afraid that he just ran off and went AWOL with me.
Well, by the way, he soiled himself, and he looks like he's completely insane. His eyes are bulging. He's gibbering. It doesn't look pretty. You never saw him like that, by the way. But if you try, if you try to take him up like by his hand, he doesn't resist you.
I'm gonna pat him on the shoulder, try and get him to come to. Say you have to go back, but I'm afraid to. I think they'll shoot me if I go back without the commander.
Okay, in that case, Johannes, after about 5, maybe 10 minutes of someone, you're not sure who it was, patting you on the shoulder, speaking to you in this soothing, calming voice, you snapped back into reality. You emerged from your own personal hell. That was this huge, deep pit. For some reason, you believe that it was dug in the middle of Edberg's estate, and it was completely filled with lizards, all sorts of lizards, huge, small, thick, thin. They were all hissing. They all exuded this heady, unpleasant aroma. By the way, it's true, lizards, they don't smell particularly well if you ever had a chance to sniff one. They crawled all over you, and in this vision, of your own personal hell, you saw the blue sky of Aldorf over your head, and from time to time, Hannah and her father, they simply appeared at the very top of this well, of this pit. They looked down at you, they were laughing, and they threw down more lizards, pointing their fingers at you as they saw you getting subsumed by this scaly tide. But eventually you open your eyes. You really open your eyes, and you see above you the huge lush canopy of Lustrian jungle. You are nestled in among roots of a mighty tree. Things are slithering not far from you. Huge centipedes and other large insects. The birds are singing, although now to your ears their voices, they sound predatory and cruel. In the distance you think you hear roaring and gunpowder discharge, but you're not sure. Spoiler, Gustav, you don't hear that. It's just in Johannes's head.
Okay.
And you see
the commotion stopped from where that was. Going on, but...
You try to just give me a second, Brian. I'll get back to you, Johannes. The thing that you see that actually makes you feel better is Gustav's worried face. He's of course completely dirty, disheveled. His normally good-looking blonde hair. They're just in horrible condition, but it's a friendly face. It's your comrade, if not your friend. Gustav, as for you and your question, for some time, now that you think about it, you think you've heard roaring and actually ground shaking, perhaps because of this creature's mighty footsteps. Also maybe a gunpowder discharge or two, but for some time now, no, it's been quiet. Lambert, as for you stayed in the camp right next to the river. The rafts are practically built, and Captain, he wants to sail down river towards the shore as fast as possible. But then you think that you heard, it was maybe like 30 minutes ago, 20 something minutes ago, shots coming from the jungle, from the direction that Kono and her men, including your friends, went. When you take a look around, you can see that a couple other griffins and sailors also heard that, and they started muttering to themselves. Marla is nowhere near to be seen. She's somewhere else. She probably helps with the provisions. Mm-hmm.
Can I try to focus? There's a lot to listen to in a jungle, but can I focus on where I heard the shots?
If you make me a -10 ear-based perception test, sure.
Okay.
You've passed. You've passed. Yeah. You can pinpoint it rather well. I mean, this is still only a single success, so this means the test is passed. But you can pinpoint it rather well. It is from the direction that that Neuvold and her search party went. You remember that. Actually, you weren't. I think you weren't there when she when she decided to go after Quadzli, who is supposedly tailing the entire expedition all by himself. He's like, he even got the nickname the White Ghost. Sorry, the Ghost, just the Ghost. And Neuvold is obsessed with him. She wants to kill him. She wants to take his head. And so. Mm-hmm.
I turned. You said there was some griffins around me that were muttering.
Not far from you, but mostly around you are sailors. The griffins are, they are security details, so they are mostly on the edges. But yeah, sure. Let's say that 2 of the griffins are not far.
I go over to him at a trot and was like, I hear trouble. We gotta go help him.
Kono's orders. We do not move from here, says one of the griffins.
Colonel might die. I'm hearing a lot of gunshots.
Yeah, we heard them too, says the other one. But she told us explicitly not to move from here, and even if you would want to, we would need to ask the captain. We don't know how far the lizards are from here.
Over to this side.
That's a good idea, says the first one. I'll go fetch some guys. We'll make sure that this flank is better covered. The other one, just nodded. Yeah, both of them, they know that you know that you have much better standing with the griffins ever since you shot down that pterodon. By the way, they treat you well, or at least better than they used to.
I want to check my pistols, make sure they're both loaded, and then I'm gonna make my way into the woods.
Sure. You check your pistols. First of all, you hope that gunpowder is dry enough to fire. Actually, because the monsoon.
Is it raining right now?
Not now. It's right now. It's raining sporadically. The monsoon is over, but the humidity after it went for a good couple of days is just off the charts. There's not a single dry spot on your bodies, all of you, by the way. The dampness is everywhere, including inside your boots, under your collars, in your backpacks, everywhere. It is infuriating. It is very unpleasant, and it is very hard, to just ignore it. But you hope that your gunpowder weapons are fine. You move out into the woods. After about 10 minutes, you hear something moving towards you through the bushes. It's...
will. Can I hide? That's concealment.
Yeah, sure. Roll basic concealment test. No, that's...
I'm gonna luck that.
Okay, sure. Nice. You had a trouble, ironically, even though it's middle of the jungle, you had a trouble finding a good spot, but you just barely spotted a rather large bush nearby. You pray to run out and Esmeralda that there is nothing hiding in the bush, nothing poisonous, snake-like or maybe spider-like. You jump inside and you wait. After less than a minute, this sound of something large moving through the jungle floor is getting closer and closer, louder and louder, and eventually you see that this strange creature emerges from between the trees, not far from you. It has 2 heads and 4 legs. It babbles something unintelligent. And then you realize that this is not a creature, but more like creatures. Or rather men. 2 men. Men that you know. Gustav and Johannes. Gustav is supporting Johannes with one arm. Johannes is hobbling, even though he doesn't look wounded. And from your hiding spot, you can see that his mouth is constantly working. It's like he's whispering something to himself, and his eyes are just wild. They scan everything from left to right. It's like he's expecting something terrible and monstrous to emerge from behind nearby trees and attack him. What are you doing, Lambert?
I'm something monstrous that's gonna emerge from the nearby trees.
Okay. Gustav and Johannes. By the way, Johannes, you can play normally. I'm just saying how your character mostly feels, but you can act normally. Although remember that in my games you need to RP your mental illness, so because that's part of your character right now. What this means is that Sean, from time to time you should probably add something about lizards, scales, stuff like that. You are right now a changed man, and you are very, very afraid of lizards.
Yeah.
Gustav, Johannes, you see Lambert. He was hiding in a bush, but now he's not. And he stands in front of you, in the middle of the jungle.
I look over his head to see if there's anyone else with him.
No.
Okay.
Lambert, look out! There's lizards everywhere.
Shh.
Listen to the tree.
Wait, not everyone at the same time. Sean, you were saying first.
I just say, Lambert, look out! There's lizards everywhere.
Oh, okay.
And I was like in character shushing him because I'm still trying to be quiet.
Yeah. Yeah, but there are no lizards, Lambert. You took a look around yourself and you don't see any lizards nearby.
Camp is just back there. Getting back there. I don't know what the fuck is going on. I heard a bunch of gunshots.
I think the colonels and the men that went back there are done for. We were set up.
Fuck. Keep going back there. I'm gonna scout ahead, see if I can pull anybody else out.
No. Just go back to camp with Johannes. It was big. I'm not sure if we don't hear anything. I mean, I'd wait maybe half an hour for him to come back, but. And then there's the whole thing. If I show up in the camp without the commander, they're going to shoot me.
Why would they shoot you?
Because she said to. She gave them orders to shoot me if I came back without her.
We lost one. There he is.
There he is.
God left for a minute.
Wait, what?
Shit. All right. All right. I'm gonna run you guys back, and I gotta come back out here to scout.
Hey, just take Johannes. I'm not going back into camp yet. I'll
What
linger nearby.
are you gonna do?
I don't know, man. I'm gonna eat fruit and vegetables and stuff, I guess. I don't know.
Just get off the floor, get off the ground at least.
Like, just don't tell anybody you found me yet, okay?
Yeah. Johannes, you need to hold my hand, or can you walk on your own?
Oh, hold my hand, please.
All right.
Don't let the lizards get me.
I at a trot, which is more of his walk, lead him back to the camp as best I can.
Okay,
Good place for me to stop.
Gustav, you also don't want to return to the camp, yes? That's it?
I'm gonna go back with them, but I'm gonna stop at the edge. I don't want to.
Okay, I would like for all three of you to roll me search tests, and you don't need to worry about the botches here, so you don't need to reroll this. The one with the best roll wins.
Yeah, that'd be Gustav.
Yeah, Gustav. As the three of you return, you suddenly heard something on your left, in between, some huge liana-covered trees. It was a strange sound, because it sounded like muffled human sigh. So, do you check it?
Yeah.
Alright, as you move to your left, and by the way, Lambert and Johannes, you see that Gustav is going left.
The club's ready to strike, though.
Sure, yeah. I presume that you have your weapon ready. You use your club perhaps to move some leaves away from you so that you can take a look, and you see Henrik Visser. Well, I should say that you kinda see Henrik Visser. You see his legs sticking out of a large carnivorous plant. The plant, rather hilariously, does this motion of like and you see Visser's legs just, bouncing left and right. Yeah.
Is he still alive?
No, you guess that he's not still alive, but you can try and take him. I mean, to be completely honest, you're not sure if he's still alive. The plant is large, and you can see that its petals end with a rather impressive array of teeth, or something, resembling teeth. You recognize that it's Visser because he had a tattoo on his right lower leg, and his right lower leg is still sticking out from the plant. Do you do anything?
Okay.
Well, that sucks.
Both of
He deserves it.
Table to farm.
the Johannes and Lambert, do you approach? Because you see that Gustav is looking at something very intently.
No, it seems preoccupied.
Alright, sure. I mean, both of you see what Gustav sees, that's what I meant.
Yeah. I'm saying that seems pretty damn occupied.
Yep. Johannes and, mostly you, Gustav, because Johannes, you went crazy. You remember that Visser, he just ran straight away from the monster, through the jungle screaming, and probably that's what happens when you take a boat through the jungle without any precaution, just going in a straight line. Well, he paid the price. As I said, you're not sure if he's dead or alive. You can probably cut open the petals. It's up to you, Brian.
I surmise that this man is pretty fucked. But if we want to try and get him out, I will stay here and watch out for trouble, but I'm not getting near that thing.
I make the sign of the cross and say I hope it was quick.
Alright.
Cross.
Yeah, that's actually a Chilean thing. It's like still a cross. I don't know if it's like the same shape, but it's a cross.
Yeah, it's probably not the Christian cross, but yeah, the sign of the dove, sign of the cross. Yeah.
Bringing in new religions is heresy.
I think it's like a red cross type of cross. You know what I mean? Where it's like
Probably.
Cross.
it's two band-aids on top of each other.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. So I presume.
I'm making the sign of the children's hospital. Yeah.
So I presume you leave Henrik sticking out from the plant, and you move forward towards the camp. All right. Also, please, Sean, know that you've lost a single sailor. That is Henrik. Eventually, you reach the camp. Lambert, you lead Johannes, and true to their word, the Griffins reinforce the flank that you told them about. The moment they see one of their own, they quickly move towards him, and they take them from you, asking, Johannes, you're alive. Where's the captain? Sorry, where's Kelno?
Lizard, giant, big lizard. Ate everybody. I don't know.
Did it eat the colonel? One of the men asks. The other, one of the you would guess that probably one of the more senior Griffins. It's none of the brothers Horst, but one of the older soldiers. He says, "You can see that he's in shock. Get him to Dr. Wackliger immediately." And the two Griffins they take Johannes to Dr. Wackliger. The rest of them look at you, Lambert, and they nod their heads. Thank you for bringing one of our own back, says the older Griffin.
I'm going back for more.
No. You're not. You're staying here, says the man. The colonel knew the risk. We can't lose any more people. If she's fine, she will return. Captain's orders, by the way. No one can leave the camp without his exact order, without his exact say-so. Please stay inside, he says. and with that, you can see that the rest of the men, they take their handguns, and maybe they don't aim them towards the jungle, but it's clear that they are looking in the direction that you came from, Lambert, expecting that maybe this huge creature will come after Johannes. Gustav, what are you doing in the meanwhile?
How far away am I from the edge?
Well, you told me that you wanted to be on the edge, so I guess, given this is a jungle and it's a rather thick one, you can be like 10 meters from the edge of the camp and probably no one would spot you. It's not like, there's a electric fence and cameras, right? The perimeter is mostly in your head right now.
Yeah, the jungle is a flat circle, bud.
Yeah.
I'm also very skeeved about the plant we just saw.
Yes, especially since that plant was obviously carnivorous.
Could I hear any of that was just said between Lambert and the Griffins?
If you pass me -20 perception test, sure.
Okay.
Because I'm not sure if you were like walking directly behind Johannes and Lambert, so.
I just want to know they're not going to kill me if I show up.
Sure. Oh.
Hot damn.
You want to reroll that, or do you want to meet the plant?
Yeah, I'll re-roll it. This is my only luck.
Okay. Well, that's not a plant. Yeah.
Wow.
So, as you were trying to make your way towards the edge of the camp where you thought that, perhaps it was less guarded and you would have easier time to go, to get through, you almost stepped on a very thin but long snake that was camouflaged pretty well against the ground and all the leaves, except that it had this pattern on its scale that was like red, black and white. Out of game, it's a coral snake, if you know how dangerous they are. then you probably know.
Yeah, down here.
Yeah. You have them here in Alabama?
In Alabama, I think. Yeah.
Well, awesome. I'm so glad that I live in a cold shithole without any fucking snakes. Thank you. But no, in all seriousness, I heard that coral snakes are, I think, one of the more dangerous snakes out there. So I would probably hate to
Yeah, we got him here.
to find one, for example, in my toilet or in my boot or under my bed or somewhere else.
Very common.
Yeah. So what you did, Gustav, you stopped almost immediately. The snake, it reared up its head towards you. Actually, it reminded you of the snake that you met, or of the snakes that you saw at the bottom of the pyramid, if you remember that.
Yeah.
You waited for it to, calm down slightly, and the snake eventually slid further away into the jungle, leaving you alone. But you were very close. You were very close of actually stepping on it.
I can't stay out here forever like this.
Yeah, you now actually realize how dangerous it is to be in the jungle all alone, even like a few meters from the camp, because you can see the camp through the leaves, and you can hear the camp, you can smell the camp as well, the cooking fire, stuff like that. But at the same time, you are feeling very vulnerable here, all alone, very vulnerable. Just so we are very clear. Your instinct, your survival instinct just screams inside your head to get out of this place. So.
Hey, this looks something just to. Okay.
Good rolls.
I'm gonna hang out here a little longer.
All right.
Yes. I'm gonna try and listen though. I want to hear if anyone's like, "Oh, we gotta shoot that."
Yeah.
If he shows back up, you know what I mean?
Eventually, Lambert, you and Marla, I guess that you probably go to check on Johannes as he's being tended to by Dr. Vakliger. You have nothing better to do, and by the way. Although it's of course up to you. Right? If you want to do something else, Lambert, then by all means.
No, I mean I'm just paranoid about what's happening in the woods, but I work with my buddy, so same as Dr. Vatliger, and hopefully he's not contracted jungle madness or jungle herpes or whatever the fuck.
You can see that Johannes is laying on a, of course, completely soggy blanket under this like half tent that Vakliger sets up every time the expedition stops to break camp. Marla is kneeling right next to him, gently holding his hand and patting it also very gently. You can tell that even from the distance that Johannes is still not well. He's like jumpy. He moves his head from left to right in this rapid movement. Vakliger eventually gets up. She whispers something to Marla's ear, and then she moves away to probably help someone else, because almost maybe not everyone, but quite a lot of expedition members suffer from this ailment or that, from all kinds of wounds or ailments, stuff like that,
Madness.
Yeah, so you can see that Marla takes her wineskin and just gives Johannes she gives him some grog. But he doesn't look too good. What are you doing?
I don't really think I can add to this curing method of having our party's hot girl hold your hand and make you drink. So I think if I add anything to it, it's a dampener.
Sure.
So I'm gonna go back outside and try and find the highest point in the camp to look out towards the jungle because I'm paranoid about what the fuck could have done this.
Yeah. Well, the problem is that there's really no. The highest point is on the top of one of the trees. Honestly, you are right next to the river shore. Remember, there are no like hills here or anything like that. The ground is mostly flat.
I'll join the Black Griffins and patrols then.
Sure. Well, by patrols you probably mostly mean that they just not even that, they just hold the perimeter. There's no stockade, there are no sandbags or anything like that. It's just a ring of men, not too many men by the way, and making sure that nothing comes through.
Another body won't hurt then.
Yep. Eventually, after perhaps an hour, during which time, Gustav, I don't know if you want to stay or if you still stayed in the jungle or went back into the camp. It's up to you. The Griffins returned. Let me quickly check. Or rather, I should say, a single Griffin returned. And he's not just looking hurt, seriously injured. He's also carrying Colonel Neuvold's mangled dead body in his arms.
That's a good sign.
He collapses the moment he reaches the front lines. Colonel falling from his arms into the mud. Of course, her men, the ones who were standing guard, they rush immediately. They some of them try to get this man up. The rest, they gather their commander, but it's clear that she's dead, and actually the man is dead as well. He bleeds out before they can help him. Both he and Kauno, they look like a piece of chewed meat. In their armor is dented and rent. They have wounds that look. Some of them they look like some huge horns pierce their bodies. Other wounds, for example, Neuvold's left arm is completely pulverized, as if by a huge maul or a warhammer. It's terrible.
You said the word.
It's just it's very hard to describe this level of punishment. There's the moment of silence as more griffins, practically all of them, some sailors, and the expedition, and captain and Mother Akela, they gather around the fallen colonel. Of course, Dr. Vakliger is immediately summoned, but she also, rather almost immediately, says that she can't do anything to her or the young mercenary who brought her. And by the way, Gustav, you hear this. It's like you even heard, this man walking through the jungle carrying the commander. So if you want to do anything, Bran, it's probably now a good time.
Hey, everybody.
Bran, if you're saying anything, I don't hear you.
Oh, sorry. I failed my little self-imposed willpower test, so I'm kind of punked out by being in the jungle right now. I want to yell, Black Griffins, can you hear me?
Okay, you
Can you hear me?
you yell this as everyone just is gathered around Colonel's body, and the moment all the expedition hears this, Black Griffins, can you hear me? They quite a few people
stumble back in the camp all scared. Yeah.
You stumble back in the camp, and you see this what I described, like this picture of death and mayhem and of loss. Quite a few sailors actually, they took notice of you yelling and stumbling, but most of the griffins they just gaze down on their fallen leader. The captain eventually says, "All right, we will bury her. We will bury her here before moving downriver. Mother Akela, can you perform the necessary rites? Can you conduct a short funeral service?" Oh, you can see that Akela just nods her head. Of course, it will be my honor," she says.
How fitting.
You say that out loud?
To Mother Akela, yeah.
Alright. Remember, there are lots of people around, so...
Okay, then I'll just look at Mother Akela, like, apparently, when he says that.
Okay, I'm actually going to roll in that case. As she says that, she takes a look at you, Gustav, and she sees your look, and then you see that she smiles and winks at you. Eventually...
I go to push some sweat off my brow with the crossed fingers.
Sure. Eventually she does organize the funeral service, and she even makes a short speech. As Kono was buried in a grave right next to the river shore, all of the remaining griffins are in attendance. Also, Sean, note that another 6 griffins died, by the way. There are, like, of course, all of the griffins are in attendance, but not too many sailors. I don't know if you guys are present here. Johannes, obviously you are, because you are a griffin. But Lambert, Gustav.
She was nice to me at the very end. I'll be nice and show up.
Gustav, what about you? Okay, sure.
Yeah.
So,
she was misled and manipulated.
yeah.
I take it personally.
So what happened was, as I mentioned before, Mother Akela makes this short speech. Sieglinde Neuvold was the boldest woman I ever met. As fierce a friend as she was a fighter. She deserved to die old and surrounded by grandchildren, not here on this God's forsaken shore. But none of us can choose the manner of her deaths, of our deaths. We pray that she finds her way surely to Morse halls, and that when our own time comes, we can face it half as bravely as her. Now, I want all of you to make me a perception test. You don't have to worry about botches. Ooh!
Too bad I'm crazy.
Yeah. Doesn't really matter.
Nope.
Of course, those of you who want, you can reroll that. Okay. So I'm also going to roll. Okay. Gustav, did you pass, by the way? Because this is not posted, by the way. Okay, so Gustav and Johannes, both of you, you've noticed that when the speech is over, and she thinks no one is looking, Akela cracks a small smile. Especially you see that, Johannes. You see this very clearly, because you had a very good roll.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to, after the funeral, do you want to talk to each other about anything, Johannes, Gustav, and Lambert, or do we continue?
Well, I mean, I'll just if I can, say, see, she's happy. She's happy the girl's dead. Did you see that?
Sorry, actually, I'm also going to roll for Marla very quickly. Oh, she passed. Yeah. Sorry, continue.
I mean, on a psychotic bitch level, I get it, but like, this is weird.
I'm
trying to get out of here alive.
I saw her smile.
Probably one of the best.
I saw her smile as well, says Marla. I saw it very clearly. It was full of satisfaction, she says.
Is she getting off on this?
I don't think so. I think that she's just happy that, I don't know, maybe arrival of her got removed from the board. I'm not sure, but it's clear that
got her all riled up about it.
About this ghost, right? Says says Mar.
And she was talking to one of the, not the Reichlanders, but the Reeks Islanders just before this happened, and then one of them comes running out of the woods saying he saw the ghost. No, she's in on this somehow. And I'd be half tempted to wake her up in the middle of the night with a knife to her throat and ask what's going on.
She's still a priestess, says Marla, and she's still one of the expedition leaders. You want to hang on one of those trees, Gustav? Or do we maybe just want to return home with our gold and forget about this place as fast as possible?
If we're going to return home at all.
She's sabotaging us for some reason. I can't figure out why. Like, why would she lead these men to their deaths like that? I mean, if it weren't for me and Johannes running away, we'd be dead too.
She probably, I don't know, maybe she thought that Neuvold was on her. Maybe she discovered something about her that Akela wanted to conceal. It doesn't make sense for her to sabotage this mission. She will also benefit from the riches once we return to the old world. If we return, she corrects herself, looking at you, Lambert.
Does she know something we don't about getting off of this island?
That would mean that she'd probably had to be in cahoots with the captain, right? I mean, he's still the overall leader, and he's the one who knows how to pilot a boat.
You yourself said she's really chummy with the Rikers Island people.
Not too many of them left. I think only a single one of that group that you helped get them up is left alive, right? The one with without an arm. 2 of them died in the temple when Gustav found them. And you mentioned that you found the 3rd one being digested by some plant monster in the jungle. So that leaves only one of them. This Geld fellow. Jan Geld, I think he's called, right?
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Maybe I should try my intimidation check.
Maybe. It's up to you, Johannes. Although, don't get this the wrong way, but when I took care of you in Vakliger's tent, you were saying some rather strange things.
Yeah. Well, you didn't see what we saw. You'd be changed forever.
Yeah, well.
Take the house, I tell you.
I don't know. I would be very careful if I were you trying to do anything to Akela. She has real power and she's very popular with the sailors. But
I mean, lean on Jan Geld.
I wish we had thought to search her tent while everybody was attending the funeral.
When I did have a look around before, there wasn't anything there.
But and you can see that Marla is afraid, and she whispers, "But do you think that she may be? You remember that Ralph Hebert fella back when we just started?
Yeah.
The one who controlled the dead. Do you think that maybe she's one of them, the witch hunters and priests? They call them." And she whispers, "Cultists?"
Maybe. I don't trust her. She just tried to get us killed.
Okay. Sign of the hammer time.
Yeah.
Johannes is just saying prayer, muttering prayers to himself, and making the sign of the hammer.
Yeah.
Uh,
I don't know. I think we should just try and stay alive, get back to the shore, says Marla, return to the old world, and leave Marienburg, Captain Van der Beek, and all this shite behind. Start somewhere fresh. Maybe known, maybe in Averheim. Who knows? If we make it back, we'll be rich as kings. We won't have to worry about any jungles or murderous halflings. No offense, Lambert. Ever again.
Look, Akela just tried to have us murdered. She did have other people murdered, and I don't know. We can't trust her going forward.
So what do you want to do,
that's what I'm saying.
Gustav? You want to strangle her in her sleep? Is that it?
No, she knows that we know. She will try to kill us. She'll try to kill us in our sleep, maybe.
We don't have any proof, says Marla. We can't take this to the captain. And we can't take this to the wizard because he's spending the entire days just looking at this huge crate with the mummy inside. And if you take those suspicions to the griffins, they will probably snap and try to do something stupid.
I think we need to find this Jan Gilt guy and pump him for information and maybe kill him.
What's with you and all the killing? Why do we have to kill anyone? Asks Marla.
Well, it's just
I'm not sure we gotta kill him.
Yeah.
it's a thought. But I agree with Marla on the main point. We just need to get out of here alive. So,
All right, but okay. Sorry, not okay. People didn't say okay back then. All right. So you want to get this Geld fella? He's not. He's here somewhere. He's not far off. All right. It shouldn't be a problem, right? You're going to grill him for answers, and then what? He'll go to Akela and tell her that you interrogated him. So what will change? Except for the fact that now she will 100% know that you suspect her. What's
True.
the plan? Because this is not a plan. Asking Jan Gout is not a plan, right?
I suppose we don't need any further confirmation that she's trying to fuck us over.
We can
Or fuck.
take extra watches near our campsite every night, she says. 2 people. Right, there are 4 of us. 2 people sleep, 2 people watch. And then we switch. Akela may be shady, but she doesn't look like a trained assassin to me. Like she can sneak through the undergrowth and just slash our throats when we doze off, right? Maybe that's the answer. I don't know. Lambert, you are the sneakiest one of all of us. You know how to move stealthily. What is your recommendation here? Except for, obvious killing her, but
I'm not against it.
she's a priestess. I am against killing a priestess. I am against killing in general, but killing a priest is something that probably would damn our souls for eternity.
Well, I wouldn't damn yours.
Well, no, it would, because even if I would not participate in it, I would knew about this, right?
So every time a priest dies in battle, then you know about it, people just
No,
fucked.
that's not the same thing.
Yeah, we do have to take a ship back across the sea, and I don't know about killing a
Priest of Manann.
priest or priestess of yeah. That's,
Yeah.
Look,
I guess let me
Manann's-
go hunt down the pirate, dude, or whatever his name is, the Riker guy.
You mean Gout?
Yeah.
All right. Well, if you think that you have a plan, sure, says Marla. You can see that she's not convinced, but she also realized that she doesn't want to be this, no lady. So she just she trusts your instincts, is what I'm saying. But at least take Gustav or Johannes with you, or Me, I mean, if I'm useful for anything.
I would suggest not taking me. Just because I'm still pretty messed up.
Maybe Gustav,
And,
you know your way around, right?
Yeah, let me get a bite to eat real quick.
There's still yeah. There's still some stew in our pot. If you like, if you like dry meat soaked in water, she says. Just be aware. I've heard that we'll be rafting down river very soon. Not sure if you have time to speak to Goat right now or after we land back on shore. It's up to you, she says. I'll take care of our camp. You boys take care of yourselves. You know, she smiles at all of you. She tries to smile like reassuringly, but you can tell that this smile is fragile and not really honest. Mostly because she's probably rather afraid. And
do anything drastic.
Yeah, and then she just returns to your small slice of camp. So, what do you guys want to do? You probably still have, you guess, few hours before the captain orders everyone to on the rafts. So you can do something, or you can just wait.
Alright, real quick, can I gotta run out to the bathroom.
Sure. Let's take a 5-minute break.
Alright, sorry.
Awesome.
I took about 4 years off. So I went back in 92. Yeah, so I was about 24.
Alright, I'm back. Sorry about that.
Oh, it's okay.
Where?
Oh, god damn. Oh, so what the fuck are we doing? I hate like late game, like, oh yeah, there's also this one more twist. It's like, oh fuck, alright, well, probably pirates. I don't know.
Like, I know she's sabotaging all this, but how confrontational can we be about it? Like, I think we should just be uncomfortably close, maybe. Like, make sure that if she does something, somebody sees or hears about it, you know? I mean, I don't care that she's a priest or not. Like, she's trying to get us killed.
Yeah, one of us should be on that raft with her. At least. Can I swim? Can I swim? Do I have swim? Yes, alright, good.
I was under the impression that we all learned how to swim when we did some sort of river travel back from Bogenhofen or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Or you guys did. I didn't travel by river. Or I did. Wait, no, I did. I came back first, that was it.
Yeah.
Maybe we should all go on her raft. Because I feel like that might be the only raft that makes it. You know what I mean? Like out of self-preservation. I mean, I don't know what she's up to, but she's not going to sabotage her own raft. So I kind of want to be on that raft.
I gotta adjust on this one. Sorry, I'm trying to multitask a couple of different things.
That's alright.
I'm gonna do some soldering while I'm on this game.
Oh, wow.
Oh, I don't want to have to change batteries in the fire alarms again, so I'm setting them up so I can just directly power them. They'll have a reserve battery, but these ones didn't, so I'm setting up a reserve battery for them.
Okay, I'm here.
Okay.
And there's space for it.
Everyone's around? Everyone's around, okay.
Yep.
So, as I've mentioned before, do you guys want to do anything, or do we jump towards the rafting?
I think we were saying one of us should go on the raft with Aquila.
Mm-hmm.
And that's basically all we got.
Actually, I think we should all go on the raft with her because it's the safest raft in the expedition.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm afraid she's gonna cut a cable or something on another raft, and I don't know.
Yeah, I'd like to get out of this with both my life and my payday.
Okay. So you discuss, possible options. You're not sure if you'll be able to get on the raft with Vakala, given that, that she's one of the leaders and she probably gets to pick her own rafties, I think. Raft mates, so to speak. But we shall see. Eventually. By the end of the 10th, Sean 10th of Nachexen, I think, right?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, so please know that, of course. By the end of the 10th, Captain Van der Veek's rafts are finished, the treasure and provisions are loaded, and the expedition sets off downriver. The river current carries the expedition downriver at a slow but steady pace. As you pass further downriver, Magister von Stiftanzer's mental state is noticeably deteriorating. He does not sleep, but sits cross-legged staring at the crate containing Xathrodox's remains. He mutters continually to himself and snaps peevishly at anyone who disturbs his contemplations. Some of his sample mutterings. It can't be. The books of Caccino, the rites of the ancient grove, all the texts say we were made in the image of the gods. And the elves say they were made in the image of Assyrian. The elves should know. The elves must know. It is all too profound for the human intellect to grasp. An ant might as well speculate on the mind of the supreme patriarch. Stuff like that. He goes full cuckoo. Now, Sean, interestingly, since you can see the real world, you actually are able to probably experience some of what von Stiftanzer is going through. Because you think, and this, it's like your mind telling you this, that you are picking up mental echoes of some powerful, stirring consciousness. Your dreams are plagued with ancient memories that are not your own. Your perception of time is altered, and you catch fleeting glimpses of the ineluctable mathematics of the great plan. Please roll me willpower test.
Whoops.
You want to roll that?
Oh,
Or not?
it's not a botch.
No, it's not.
No,
alright.
reroll it.
So no reroll, right?
Nope.
Okay, so please add a single insanity point to your character sheet. Yeah, and Gustav, Lambert, you can see that Johannes is still not well. You can tell that he's muttering to himself when he thinks that no one is listening or looking. His eyes are either not focused or they just dart from left to right, almost as if he's expecting some kind of attack just any moment. Something happened to him. However, it's just not him who's not feeling well mind-wise. The sailors who helped to carry the crate, they are spreading stories of having cold sweats and nosebleeds when they were near it. One man has an iron Mannonite talisman that has become spontaneously magnetized, probably from just being near the crate. With everything that the people in the expedition have been through since reaching the pyramid, and I'm of course talking mostly about the sailors, not the griffins, it's not hard for the superstitious sailors to reach the conclusion that there is a curse on the relic priest's remains. And let's say Gustav and Lambert, you gather that this conclusion is actually quietly encouraged by Mother Akala.
Just like the ghost.
Well. And in case you're wondering, the brothers Horst are in command of the Griffins right now. Both of them. They are commanding what is left of the company. That said, on the 13th of Nahexen, the rains have practically completely dissipated, and unfortunately, they have cleared enough for the scouts to find the expedition again. "Look!" shouts a sailor on the captain's raft, pointing up to the sky. "The dragon birds! They are back!" Sure enough, the lizardmen's flying scouts have returned, their winged silhouettes unmistakable against the ragged clouds. The black griffins ready their guns, but the creatures are soaring high above the range of even the sharpest shot. You guess that perhaps even a Hochland long rifle would not be able to reach them. For perhaps a quarter of an hour, the lizards seem content to observe as the rafts float further downriver. Then, at some unseen signal, one breaks away, swooping down below the trees on the south bank. Reappearing with something heavy, clutched in its claws, it flaps laboriously back into the upper air, circling high above the rafts. Then, with a triumphant shriek, it lets go. The men on the lead raft begin to shout in alarm as the creature's cargo plummets towards them. A mossy stone about the size of a man's head, it plunges into the river a few yards off their bow, raising a tall plume of spray from the impact. If it had struck the raft, it surely would have gone straight through the bottom. One after another, the other flying lizards break off from their lazy circling, dipping in smooth succession towards the trees. Now, what this means, boys, because we are entering another dramatic set piece. The Pterodon riders, essentially they drop their rocks from high altitude, allowing them to reach maximum speed before impact. This keeps them, I want to make this very clear, out of handgun range, but also limits their accuracy. Most of the rocks fall into the water rather than striking the rafts. However, they are relentless, and they are dropping rock after rock after rock after rock on the on the rafts going downriver. And so, eventually, over time, the damage from the falling rocks begins to add up. All of you, please make me a +20 perception test. Okay, make this normal roll, okay. You've passed, sure.
+20, baby.
Yeah, this is an absolute success. So, Lambert, please remember that for any of your next perception test, you get a +10% bonus. Either note this somewhere or just remember this. Okay, so sorry, I'm drinking Monster Energy. Anyway,
It's like 10 o'clock at night over there, isn't it?
8 p.m. Why?
Close. I was gonna say, are you gonna be able to sleep?
I can drink coffee at 2 a.m. and go to sleep without any problems.
I'm not your dad. I'm not trying to fuck.
I know. I would be very surprised if you'd be my dad. First of all, he's dead. Second of all, you are probably slightly younger than me. So.
How old are you?
39.
Yeah. All right. Well.
Monster just basically keeps me alive. It doesn't wake me up anymore. I just need it to live.
Yeah, same here. I'm completely addicted to it.
I do have a unhealthy addiction to the coffee monsters.
We had them for some time here, but they removed them from the shelves. Now you can only buy them in like delicatessen for very high price. So I'm just sticking to normal ones. Anyway, what all of you gathered was that the riders are targeting every raft except the one carrying Zotla Loka.
So they need it.
Unfortunately, actually, sorry. You've passed the test. Do you want to do anything right now? Because this is the moment. If not, then we'll continue. This is the... Like, you can tell me if you have any idea right now, but please make it rather quick. Starting from left to right, starting with Lambert. Do you want to do anything?
Yeah. How close are we to the raft that has Zotla Loka on it?
The rafts are not far far apart. You're all fairly close to each other.
I call out to who's on that raft?
Stiftanzer for starters, but also a couple of sailors and griffins. Actually, on every raft there are seven passengers approximately.
I call out to the black griffins and point up at the pterodons and or at the flying dragon things and yell, "They're targeting every raft but yours. We need to lash all the rafts together so that, it's obvious to them that if they sink one of them, these all crash."
Good idea.
Thank you, and remind me, Michael, to give you additional points for that, because that was that was the right thing to do. All right. So what happens is that you shouted this, and the griffins, they heard it, the sailors heard it, and they, of course, they go with the plan. They use ropes and lianas that they gather from the jungle to lash the rafts together. It takes some time. Meanwhile, of course, the pterodons are targeting, the other nearby rafts. But the moment the rafts are lashed together, the rock dropping stops. It's very obvious that the flying dragon lizards and the riders, they do not want to damage the Slan priest's mummified remains. Okay. And you haven't, and because of that, you haven't lost a single sailor or black griffin, so that was very good. None of the rafts got sunk, even though some of them got damaged. Few people maybe even got hurt slightly, but nothing too serious, fortunately. Eventually, the flying scouts, they stopped their bombardment. That said, they are still circling overhead, spying on you, obviously. And that was on the 13th of Nahexen. And so by sunset, all of you reach the familiar landmark of the Serpent Stones. If you remember, this is where you found the remains of the stallions, including their locket that you actually, no, sorry, not the locket, the remains of the stallion explorers. Captain van der Beek orders the expedition to make camp, ready to move on in the morning. You know that from here it's only a short march back to the beach where the Maiden of Manann should be waiting. Only von Stiftanzer doesn't seem to be feeling the boost in morale that this knowledge brings. With the last glimmers of sunset fading in the west, a rustling in the treetops heralds the arrival of a familiar troop of black and white monkeys. One of them is still wearing the Magister's Verenan pendant, making the sailors laugh and call out to it. If you remember, a monkey stole his pendant, when you first reached the Serpent Stones. After all the trials of their long retreat, they are happy to see such harmless animals again. Alone among the sailors, the Magister's reaction is not one of humor, but of horror. Seeing the monkey carrying his pendant, he flinches away as if unable to bear the sight of it. "No, please, I cannot stand it," he weeps. Puzzled faces turn towards him. "Oh, please, do not mock me." "It's just monkeys, Magister," says Mother Akela, her face a picture of concern. "Are you feeling alright?" "Ha!" barks the wizard, his voice brutal and frank. "Just monkeys? Look, you wretched apes!" he shouts, pointing up at the monkeys with a trembling finger. "All of you, look upon your grandfathers!" And I'm sorry I can't do this louder, but my kid is asleep, so he basically shouts at the top of his lungs. He just said that, by the way. And everyone listened to this, everyone heard this. The camp is not that big. The people are crammed together, and they just look at him. Most of them with wide, shocked eyes. Van der Beek quickly intervenes, shepherding the wizard away and attributing his outburst to heat stroke. Nevertheless, von Stiftanzer's strange behavior quickly becomes the talk of the camp. And I would like for all of you to roll me perception tests again. Michael plus 10%. You don't have to worry about the botches. Oh, you've passed.
Plus 10%, I still fail.
Okay. Gustav passed. Actually, Johannes, remember that you also have those minuses, so I think you failed as well, right?
I thought I only had minus 10. Do I have minus 20?
No, minus 10.
Yeah.
But I think that means that you still fail by 3, I believe, right?
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, Gustav, you are the only one to realize that Akela joins in with a will. She goes from campfire to campfire, spreading rumors of how the wizard brought the curse upon them by opening the tomb. You caught that during the early evening. Do you do anything with that knowledge, Gustav?
Thing, man. No.
Where am I and where's everybody else?
Let's say that you were going to fetch some wood and your friends are around, your campfire. Like everyone has their own campfire, stuff like that. People usually just gather in small groups around them. But as you were, gathering some wood to bring back, you heard Akela and you saw her nearby, stoking the fire, so to speak. Spreading those rumors that von Stiftanzer brought this curse upon the whole expedition by opening the tomb of Zotla Loka.
That's mutiny.
Well, I mean, are you telling me, or are you telling like this is inside your head?
Yeah, that's inside my head. But I'm gonna get back to the group and say that I just overheard her really pushing this rumor.
Don't tell me, man. Tell the captain. Like, on one side, I don't disagree. I think the manager's kind of fucking us with how fucking batshit he is. But, yeah, I can't do anything about it. Tell the fucking captain.
You present it. He doesn't like me.
I'm also the one that held a gun to our now dearly departed colonel's face in the woods. He's not the biggest fan of me.
Johannes and Marla? Does he have any beef with you guys?
I presume,
Where's the beef?
says Marla, that you have some kind of proof of this. Because if you don't, then going to the captain and saying that a priestess of Manann and one of the leaders is organizing mutiny probably will mean that whoever tells him that will hang. So no, I am not going to tell him that, Gustav.
Yeah, I'll just use my automatic conversation recorder and show it to him. What the fuck do you think this is? A fucking like storybook bullshit? No, that shit'll never exist.
Maybe in the College of Engineers or in Skavenblight, they probably have this, and it probably explodes in their face all the time.
Wax cylinder stuff.
Yeah. No, but she looks at you seriously, Gustav. Like, what's the plan? How do you want to do this? You want to go or send one of us and to tell him? He won't believe us.
Here's the thing: cutting out the priest's tongue doesn't kill her.
Yeah. Mutilating a priest.
He's just Lambert's just over there by the fire and was like, mutilation's not death. Some fucking psychotic shit.
I thought that you would be the last one, Lambert, to say anything about mutilation, says Marla, rather grimly.
I've been around it enough that they're not that bad.
That's dark.
Yeah. Look, I don't like her. I mean, Akela. Right now I don't like her. I used to like her because she helped me a lot with how the men in the expedition treated me. But I agree with you. She's shady. There's something about her that is dark and dangerous. But we don't have any proof. And I'm not going to risk our lives because you've heard something, Gustav. We
I
should
just
probably.
hate standing by while we know everybody's being manipulated by her.
All right, let's.
We don't know why. We don't have proof, but we know it.
Yeah, but we can't do anything. Johannes, I mean,
No, I think you're right, Marla. You're the voice of reason. I think if we go to the captain with this, we'll be the ones who are making a mutiny in his eyes.
I mean, the captain will probably ask us a very simple question: do you have proof? And then we will say, no, we don't have proof. What are we going to say? Well, if you would ask her, then she will probably tell you that yes, I want to overthrow you, my captain, oh captain. Or she will deny everything, and then she will probably make us all hang from a nearby tree branch.
I don't think it's a mutiny. I just think she doesn't want to deal with this fucking mummy.
But then why?
Has anyone thought to just talk to her?
But then why she would want to kill Neuwald?
I tried talking to her, and she tried spinning the thing about the ghost to me. Maybe somebody else should try.
I guess I can.
Poke through her bullshit. Yeah.
I'll go talk to her.
Just be careful, says Marla. I mean it, Lambert. This is us
You'll know I'm probably dead if I don't come back.
This is us walking on a very thin ice right now. If she was ruthless enough to send Kono and 6 of her men and you to their deaths, that means she won't hesitate to kill you as well.
I'll follow behind. Just make sure you have a way out.
Yeah.
I'll keep the stew going, says Marla. Johannes, maybe you should catch some sleep. You don't look too well.
Yeah, I'll help you stir the stew.
Thank you.
I'll
It's
get more firewood, so to speak.
It's super thick stew that needs 2 people to stir it. Yeah.
It's very tasty. It's the exact same thing that we had last day and day before that and day before that as well, she says.
Marlo, you're such a bright ray of sunshine. What the hell would we ever do without you?
I don't know. I would just like to be home, Lambert, she says, and you can see that she looks very tired. It's all I want. I just want.
Iced.
Yeah, I honestly agree. I would never think that I would miss the shitty outdoor weather, but now I do. You boys be careful, she says. We'll wait for you here. Lambert, you go to search for Akala. It doesn't take long for you to find her. She sits around one of the larger campfires, surrounded by like 5 sailors, and she's laughing with them, sharing some probably meager rations of grog, and making sure that it's clear for you that she wants to make sure that they can talk to her about anything at all. That she listens to them. She wants to probably remain popular with the crew. You approach her, and she looks at you and she waves her hand. Oh, Master Lambert, come in, sit with us by the fire, she says. Boys, get this halfling some grog, she says. Don't be stringy now, don't be stringy. He's the best shot in the entire expedition, he is. And no mistake.
Thank you.
Yeah, you sit by the fire, by the way, or do you just?
I'll sit with it.
One of the sailors hands you his leather hip flask. Of course, it doesn't smell too well. The grog inside, you are honestly all sick of it by now, but you can't really drink anything else. So you take.
Drink.
Yeah.
I salute him, take a swig.
You take a swig. It's warm. It's like, there are things swimming in it. It's really unpleasant. Yeah. Yeah, but you gulp it down. So, what brings you to our little slice of camp? Asks Akela, laughing.
I don't get it. I helped that man get into that tomb, and I don't get what his. Anybody else feeling a little freaked out by the Magister's behavior?
When you say that, immediately all of the men, they look at you, with wide eyes, and they just lap every word you're saying. Akela looks at you intently. The sailors almost immediately say, "Well, yeah, of course. What you're saying is true, Master Halfling. This whole mummified frog thing, it's bad business. It's bad business, all right. The gods," another says, "they don't look at us anymore. Not since von Stiftanzer took this thing out of the pyramid." Other people say. Akela doesn't say anything. She just looks at you.
I turned to Akela and was like, "Akela, I appreciate everything you've done on this expedition. Having a woman of any cloth here is a big help. But can you do anything to get the gods to notice us again? It seems like there's nothing good happening."
Roll me charm test. This is actually a counter test with her.
Second. I'm speaking this loud enough that the rest of the men around the fire can hear me.
Mm-hmm. The rest of the men around the fire, they just hang up on your every word.
Okay.
They hang on your every word. Mm-hmm.
Does Schemer affect us at all? I have a plus 10% intrigue and resistance.
Yeah, sure. Mm-hmm. It does.
All right. There it is. Boop.
Nice.
Yeah.
Quite few successes. I'll quickly check, but I think you rolled better than her. I have her stats here. She got Schemer.
Oh.
72. Count me the number of successes in that case. This is very important right now. Actually, wait, 47, 57, 67, 77, so 4 full successes include and
plus
the
10%.
basic one. Yes, okay, so alright, you won. Not by much, but you won.
Ooh.
She she nods her head and she says, "Well, as soon as we'll be on the Maiden again, I will of course pray to the Lord of the Waves to speed us on our journey back and to keep us safe from whatever misfortune Magister von Stiftanzer might have brought on us."
So it'll be okay once we get the mummy onto the Maiden?
Yes, it will be, because of the power of Manann coursing through me, will be much safer once we are on the open sea. Here in the jungle, the power of Manann is not as strong. As you probably know, he's the god of the sea, not the god of the rivers or jungle humidity, she says.
I appreciate that, priestess. I don't mean to overstep my bounds here, but maybe we need to keep you safe, keep you out of harm's way, not let you, get in the action as much.
Oh, I'm perfectly safe. I'm here, and
I'm sure you're competent. Every priest of Manann that's a sailor has to be competent. That's the thing. Like, this is my first time sailing on an expedition this large, and damn, you guys are tough. I look around the fire. I'm like, this. I've been on campaigns with armies. I've been in some really fucking hairy situations with some really dark ass shit, but you guys are tough.
she says, laughing quietly, "I've sailed with Norskans and Arabians, halfling. This is not the worst place that I've been in, although it's probably a close second."
I'm glad to hear that you're saying that our fortunes are going to improve.
I'm sure of it. I'm sure of it. But remember one thing, and this is very important. This is something that, well, I'm not saying as a priestess of Manann, I'm saying as a woman of experience. We make our own fortunes, halfling. The gods can only help us with them, but they are not making our lives easier. They can aid us only if they see that we try to aid ourselves. And that's, I think, a very important lesson. Wouldn't you agree?
It is.
Exactly.
It is.
Exactly. That's why sometimes certain precautions have to be made and certain decisions have to be made as well for the betterment of all, of course. Excuse me?
Like what?
Well, no.
I'm sorry. I'm just a country halfling that kind of bumbled his way into this by knowing people at the colleges of magic. That's all. I just need an example. I have no idea what the hell you mean by a hard decision on this. Like what?
Well, I mean, Captain makes all the hard decisions. For now, they prove to be the right ones, but eventually, once we're on the open sea, maybe more hard decisions will have to be made. Tough decisions to make sure that we'll all make it back home alive, right? And in one piece, and ideally, of course, with our hard-earned gold at our side. Don't you agree?
I agree.
Look,
I agree.
when the time comes, I'm sure that you understand, she says. But for now...
Time is now. I appreciate it. And thank you for the, I guess, informal blessing, but blessing nonetheless. But, blessings of Esmeralda on all y'all. I don't know if you give a shit, but it's there. It's given in goodwill.
You see that the sailors, they nod their heads, of course, they are grateful, but from their faces you can easily tell that they have no idea who Esmeralda is. Akela just nods her head politely and she thanks you. Right.
And as a token of good faith between, I guess, future halfling and sailor interactions, I dig out of my pack my last good traveling sausage and leave it with them.
Oh, thank you, says one of the sailors. Thank you so much. We'll add it to our stew. It will make it much more tasty, he says. You actually hope that the sausage is still good, even in this, given this climate. You're not sure if it's even edible.
He said our fortunes are looking up, so if anything happens,
You take care, halfling, says Akela, and make sure to give your Marienburger friend my regards. She says, smiling.
He's a good guy. He's just kind of dumb sometimes. I'll pass it along.
Oh, I'm aware of it. She says, smiling. Even even after all those days, all those weeks, her teeth are still pearl white. Well, anyway, she says mostly to the sailors around her, I still need to visit a few campsites. See you boys later, and be careful with that sausage. With that, she smoothly gets up, even though she has a peg leg. And she moves towards the next campfire. Yeah.
With the rest of these guys, I'm just gonna be like, "No, let me show you how to cook this right." And while I'm helping them with cooking their stew, honestly helping them, I'm gonna make this a good stew for them, because it can't help but to ingratiate myself to these people. I'm also gonna kind of fish for what kind of stories have they heard spread around the camp and from her.
Okay, in that case, yeah.
I would like to use my other luck.
Sure.
shit.
You have a feeling that they don't want to talk about it.
That's fair. I mean, I get it. Bad juju.
No, it's not about bad juju. I mean, none of them told you that explicitly, but it's clear that they don't want to, speak about what Akela told them, probably because they think that it's unfair to her. It's like snitching.
That's fair.
And it tells you one thing very clearly. She's incredibly popular with the sailors, probably much more than you initially thought. It's almost like they are maybe not worshipping her, but from their tone and from the few words that they told about her, you think that she probably has she's in higher standing than the captain with them.
Well, I guess I gotta make this stew real fucking good then and get out of there.
Yeah. Gustav, you were nearby, but unless you would be sitting around the fire, you would not really hear anything.
I just want to make sure there wasn't a scuffle or something.
Yeah. Johannes, you and Marla, you made sure that the delicious dried meat stew mixed with some local, probably fruit taken from the jungle. I know it sounds strange, but people do add fruit. Yeah, do add fruit to this to their food here. That it was edible.
Guys, I'm gonna go mic silent for a second. I'm just trying to untangle this.
Sure, and Lambert, you did well with the food around, at the sailors' campfire. So my guess is that you probably all return to. I mean, Gustav and Lambert, you probably return to your campsite, where the dinner is prepared. You really have enough of this, of the same monotone diet, but there's nothing else to be had except for hardtack, which is also not ideal given that it's slightly soggy and has weevils in it. Lambert, do you
It's that humid.
Yes, it's that humid. It's a jungle, so the worst place to be on the planet. Ask any soldier about the worst possible place to be deployed, and they will tell you that it's the jungle. Desert is better, especially during the autumn where there's this dry season. But jungles suck. They're fucking horrible. Anyway, once you're back, Lambert, do you want to convey what you've heard around the campfire to the rest of the people?
Yeah. Guys, there's no swaying the sailors on this. I don't know what the fuck she has done aside from just being a reassuring presence or what, but she has absolute loyalty among those sailors.
What's her plan?
I don't know. She said that we will have good fortune again once we are on the open water. I kind of tried to trap her in her own talk about that by saying like, oh, okay, once we have the mummy on the boat, we'll be okay. And she said yes. So, worst case, I mean, like, yeah, I guess we're okay there. But she's just as interested in getting us back home with the gold as anybody else. I just don't think she really gives a shit. Like, she doesn't want the mummy coming back with us. And I don't blame her. I also don't want the mummy coming back with us. The thing's creepy as shit.
Johannes, do you tell the others about your dreams and your visions? Because you know that you are almost certain, even on the instinctual level, that they are connected with Xotlaloca's remains.
Yeah, I tell them that I've seen visions of weird shit from I think the mummy, and I think that's what's caused the mage to go a little over it. She probably gets more of it than I do.
Now, spending that much time close to it, I imagine can't help.
Yeah.
It's like it's like sending a young man into a brothel for the first time with an open check. he's gonna get some weird inclinations about women.
I don't know the gods here, but I mean, we removed a body from its tomb, essentially. I mean, that's wherever you go in the old world, they're gonna look at you funny. They might even burn you for that.
You remember, asks Marla, what Stiftanzer said about those apes here? He told, he shouted that they are our grandfathers. I mean, don't correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that speaking something like that on the streets of any imperial city would end up with a heavy beatdown at best and probably a pyre at worst.
Well,
Yeah,
he's far enough gone that he doesn't give a shit about the consequences of his actions.
Did anybody feel like, because Akella was saying something about, so you told me, Akella was saying something about.
Assume I have recreated the entire
sure.
entire conversation in theater form.
Sure.
That because it sounds like she's saying that there's hard decisions to be made and maybe the captain can't make them. I thought that was what she said.
Yes,
that sounds mutinous.
but again, that's just us saying it. And if we are asked for proof, again, the sailors love her, and that we're kind of fucked on that one.
Alright, but does this mean that we are all thinking what I'm about to say right now? Says Marla, and she, by the way, she speaks very quietly, that once we are on open waters, Akella will probably want to overthrow the captain and take care of the ship herself?
That's what I mean.
But why?
Well, because she's ambitious, because she's a priestess of Manann, and probably she thinks she knows better how to command the ship.
But does it all come down to she wants to get rid of the mummy? Because if that's the case, I'm not even comfortable having that. Maybe we should be helping her if that's what the ultimate goal is.
A worst comes to worst.
I don't care about the mummy.
Worst comes to worst. If we run into the lizards again, and it's getting bad, I don't have a problem with cutting that thing off and letting it float back.
It would float out to sea, though.
Yeah.
They can go get it.
Yeah.
But yeah. Well, I think we're done with the raft, though. I think now we're going overland.
Yeah, we have like what? A very short distance before we short march back to the beach, right? We are almost back at the Maiden, says Marla. So unless they are not waiting for us there, it should be smooth sailing home. Hopefully.
I snap twice, and then produce a shilling and toss it into the fire and was like, "Hey, we don't need to be jinxing ourselves here, Marla."
Yeah, it's probably now that I said that, they probably will wait for us, and maybe even on our ship. Oh well, she says. And she doesn't continue this. She just stares into the, dimming fire, because it's very hard to actually start fire here in the jungle with all the dampness. So the wood produces more smoke than flame. Not to mention that some of those trees, like the wood from them, it smells really strange and rather unpleasant when you burn it. It's almost as if this entire place, this entire land, is hostile to you.
All the food is poison.
Including the air, including the soil, including the trees, the food. Of course, I don't have to tell you that almost every single one of you, at least, has, well, the case of running water at least once every day. Water from the backside, I should add. Dysentery is something that Vakliger tries to she has to manage almost daily, and and it's hard to do.
Just eat more oats, guys.
Yeah. So what? I think that's you've discussed those things. Unless you want to add something else.
I just want to say that I think it's probably just bedtime on this. Everybody just sleep on it. We'll address it when it comes up, and that's kind of how we have to go through this. I usually like to work on a lot better knowledge on something, but honestly, let's just do our tried and true method of fuck it. We'll figure it out when it happens.
I think Lambert is right, says Marla. Again, I would advise against doing anything rash. I would advise against going to the captain and speaking to him with him about this. We don't have any proof, and Akela is incredibly popular with the sailors. You said this yourself.
Yeah.
And she looks at you, especially Gustav, when she says that, perhaps thinking that maybe you would, try doing anything strange, something strange.
No, nothing rash.
And with that, you all eventually fall asleep. You have a feeling that in the coming days, hopefully, you'll be able to leave this accursed place once and for all, unless something bad happens. The night passes uneventfully. As the sun rises on the 14th of Nachhexen, the expedition breaks camp, making ready for the final leg of the march. "Dragon birds are back," observes one of the men, pointing up to a handful of specks circling high in the brightening sky. An old sailor spits, calling on Manann to curse the flying beasts. "Let them follow us as far as they please," says another, heaving a box of treasure over his back. "We'll be back aboard the Maiden before the sun sets tonight. Ain't nothing they can do to us then." As he finishes speaking, the first man cocks his head to one side. "Do you hear that?" he asks. "What?" "Listen!" In the quiet that follows, a single sound can be heard. A soft, steady beating of drums in the jungle, growing louder. "It's the lizards!" shouts a frightened voice towards the back. "Run!" Now, we go towards the section of the chapter called Blood on the Sand. Now, all of you realize that because of the scouts, Quadsley and his cohorts have probably finally caught up with you. And now, with the lizardmen breathing down your necks, the expedition faces a breakneck race to the coast. Captain Van der Veek tries his best to keep panic from spreading. Now tell me, does any of you have command?
I do, and I'm going to try and repeat my actions in the cave.
You don't have to roll. It just means if you have, that's all there is. Because
an organized retreat is the best retreat here.
Yeah. Because with your help and your strong, steady, calm, and collected voice, the captain prevents panic from spreading. Just so you know, if none of you would have command, the one third of the treasure would be abandoned as the men make haste to escape. But because of Lambert, Captain Van der Veek is able to maintain order, and so the expedition, of course, very quickly moves towards the shore. With the drums of the lizardmen echoing through the forest behind you, you turn and run after the others. For hours you run through the sweltering heat until your lungs burn and sweat drips from every pore. After what feels an eternity, you begin to feel the cool touch of the ocean breeze against your face. Following the salt smell of the sea, you burst through the tree line and out onto the blinding white sands of the beach. All around you, your fellow survivors stand, blinking in the sunlight. A few hundred yards down the beach, the carpenter and his mates are relaxing with their toes in the sand, eating fruit and drinking out of coconut shells. Looking round in surprise at the sight of their returning shipmates, they begin to shout and wave. They begin to shout and wave, but all eyes are on the ship floating out in the blue waters of the bay. With a new mizzenmast of Lustrian hardwood, the Maiden of Manann bobs peacefully at anchor, ready to sail. Throwing down their burdens, the men crowding the beach rush for the boats, but there are far too many of them to make it in one trip. As the first boats push off, the drums in the jungle grow louder, and the winged lizard beasts come swooping down over the treetops. It looks like the lizardmen are not prepared to let you leave. Okay, so how this works? This is going to be a tricky one. I've already run this scenario last year, so fortunately I have some experience, but I remember this part being particularly difficult for me to run. How this works. The Maiden of Manann has 3 jolly boats, which must go back and forth between ship and shore to get everyone to safety. Now, those of you, if you roll me a -20 command, charm, or intimidate, you can get on the first wave of boats. If not, then we'll go to next section. So tell me, do you want to do that? By you, I mean probably Lambert.
Give it a shot.
Okay.
Yeah!
Okay. The rest of you can also do that. That said, remember, if the rest of you wants to do that, you can potentially botch. So my question
At least I
is,
didn't botch.
okay, so you just failed. Gustav, you want to roll or not?
Yeah.
Okay. I presume that you rolled charm, right?
Yeah.
Between Lambert and you, Gustav, you made sure that the 4 of you, including Marla, that you get on the first boat, which means that we just skip you just skipped a very, very hard combat encounter. I'm not kidding. This is a good one. So all of you get on the first boat, mostly thanks to Lambert, but Gustav, you helped as well. You and the treasure that you were carried is placed, of course, together with Zotlalok and Stiftanzer, who makes sure that he's the first to go. And actually, you all saw that few of the sailors tried to get on the boat as well, and Stiftanzer, he didn't use his magic, but he was prepared to do. Shouting at them to get back as he extended his arms and cried out a few words in arcane language. Even in the middle of Lustrian day, you can see that his hands essentially brighten up, and you, Johannes, you saw this influx of ethereal magic around him, this white, almost imperceptible aura. The sailors, when they saw that, those that wanted to get on the boat, they moved away warily, cursing and looking at him with murderous and very afraid stares. So yeah. Let me check very quickly. Okay. Right. As you swim towards the Maiden, you all turn around, and eventually you see that lizardmen, they break through the trees. First of all, first of all, are the first lizards to engage the sailors and black griffins who are covering the retreat. Are those skinks riding the dragon birds? They swoop down on the men gathered on the beach, and they attack, the dragon birds with their long iron-hard beaks and talons, and the riders, they carry javelins that they hurl towards the men, and they stab them with them. Although very quickly they disengage, and from between the trees, Zaurus warriors emerge, led by Quatzli himself. You can see that as you are practically, getting up the side of the ship. The great white lizard and his and his subordinates are charging towards the edge of the beach, and they are not hissing in anger anymore. They are roaring in fury. It's almost as if something stoked the fires of of hatred, of anger in their cold-blooded hearts to such an extent that even from distance it is terrifying. Johannes, you are too far away to make the test, but when you saw that even from the distance, you squealed in panic.
Yeah.
And very quickly more lizardmen emerge from the jungle, and more and more and more. Some of them are carrying not only obsidian spears and razor fang studded war clubs, but also strange golden icons, battle standards of sorts. The griffins, they sell their lives dearly, and I do mean sell their lives, as well as a couple of sailors that are still waiting for the boats to return. But it's clear that the lizards, this is an entire army, and it outnumbers the they outnumber the defenders horribly. Since you are not taking part in the fight, I'm just very quickly narrating how it looks. The boats go back and forth, bringing as many people as they can back to the Maiden. Even from the deck of the ship, you can see that that the white sands of the beach are already stained dark with blood. Men and lizards laying dead, mangled together. Even from the distance, you can see Quatzli practically annihilating almost every combatant that he's engaged with. His huge, massive war club just cracking heads and bursting chest and bellies with every swing. That said, the Maiden eventually uses its guns. The members of the crew, they prepare the cannons, and a volley of cannonballs howls overhead the still fighting griffins and sailors, and smashing into the ranks of Zaurus still emerging from the jungle. Of course, the sound of the cannonade is just deafening, and your ears are ringing. But it definitely helped, at least for a few important moments. Some of the more desperate sailors even decided to leave the treasure and just swim for the Maiden. Not all of them made it, but the majority, I would say, did. At least those who decided to leave the gold plaques on the sand. So I will now read the final text entry for this chapter, for this act 4. Friendly, Hands reach down to haul the last of the crew up onto the ship, and the men on the Maiden's deck begin to cheer and jeer at the lizardmen on the shore. Hundreds more are emerging from the trees, some diving into the water to pursue their prey, but even their strongest swimmers can't outpace a Marienburg galleon. As the Maiden turns to the east, her sails billowing out in the wind, the creatures on the beach stare after her with implacable reptilian eyes. Their leader stalks down to the water line and gives vent to a deep animal roar. It carries over the water. Though it has no words, it sounds like a promise. Ahead, the open ocean stretches wide and inviting. As the Lustrian shore dwindles to a strip of green behind you, a sense of euphoria settles over the crew. Men embrace each other and strike up dances on the deck, overjoyed to feel the timbers of the ship under their feet. Against all the odds, you have escaped.
Woohoo.
Yeah. So, that said, what happened right now is that there are only a handful of griffins left alive, including brothers Horst, you Johannes, and a couple soldiers more. Sailors lost about 50% of those that remained. They also left about 1/5 on the treasure on the beach and in the water, because some of the men actually tried to swim with the gold, either held in their hands or strapped to their backs, but it did not end well for them. Especially since those sailors were usually plucked from the water by the aquatic lizardmen, who had no trouble getting into the ocean and just swimming towards the poor bastards and slaying them with brutal intent. Now we start Act 5, called Homeward Bound. Right. Homeward Bound. With the wind behind her, the Maiden leaves the Lustrian shore behind, and all the horrors of that green hell recede behind the horizon. Under clear skies and a favorable wind, the ship sails back into the blue waters of the equatorial seas. Sorry for the music, it's probably not the perfect. Although 7 days after the Maiden left the land behind, the wind dies, leaving the ship becalmed on an ocean as smooth and flat as glass. A day passes, then 2, then 5, and still the wind does not return. With the sun beating down remorselessly on the deck, men mutter prayers to Manann through cracked lips, imploring the Lord of the Waves to send them a breeze. It doesn't take long for cabin fever to set in among the scarred survivors of the expedition. Tempers fray and fights break out over rations of water, while paranoid whispers circulate below decks. As the sails hang limp in the baking heat, it is hard to keep a level head. Tell me, where are you right now? What are you doing? Starting with Gustav.
I'm probably out of the sun. I don't want to be baking.
Okay. So you're probably under the deck, right?
Yeah, I'd hang out with somebody.
Okay. Lambert, what about you?
I'm cooking and I'm eating things that I have missed for however the hell long we were in the fucking 2 weeks we were in the jungle.
You have trouble cooking, just so we are clear. There are the food and water is strictly rationed right now, and I believe you don't have access to the kitchen. The cook and his.
I don't have an assigned spot anymore. I've got good eyes and I'm small. I guess I could hang out up in the masts.
Yep. The cook and his helpers have survived. By the way, all the expedition leaders have survived as well, and Dr. Vakligar. But but yeah, they don't either. They don't need or they don't want your help. So what? You're staying on high atop in the mast, right?
Yeah, I'll go up in the mast. I'm small and I've got good eyes.
Okay. So the only thing that you see from the top is the endless vista of ocean. That is, I mean it, perfectly flat, almost like a mirror's, mirror surface. It is incredibly unnerving, and even high atop, you practically don't feel any breeze. No wind, not even the smallest gust. The heat is sometimes overwhelming, and it's not like you can stay there all the time, or you would get a heat stroke.
Yeah.
But you try your best. Johannes, what about you?
I figure I would be doing whatever the soldiers are doing.
Brothers Horst and the couple remaining griffins, they mostly stay in their own section of the ship, which remember it's if I recall correctly, it was the middle deck. The sailors are still, of course, staying in the gun deck. That said, there are so few of you that even though Otto and Axel, they give you something to occupy yourselves with, either training or marching down the deck back and forth, or making sure that the sailors are not doing anything stupid. It's clear to you, Johannes, that they also don't really think that it changes anything, and that they probably privately despair, like so many other men on the Maiden, on your current predicament. They just don't say it out loud. So you try to occupy yourself with your mind with something, your days, with soldiery stuff. You were basically given another gun, because remember you've lost one, but you lost another one in the swamp after when you were escaping from the beast in the marshes. And there are quite a few free weapons right now, given how many griffins were left in Lustria. Which you have a feeling that unless they will organize a huge influx, recruitment. But once you get home, the Black Griffin's mercenary company is probably done for. Like right now it's not even a Black Griffin's mercenary squad, and I'm not joking. There are very few of you left. So Marla is just she mostly stays on the deck. You know that. Even though it's very hot, she created this like bandana soaked in salt water, and she tied it around her head to cool her down. She just stares out on the open ocean, not doing much. Now, due to the Maiden's hasty departure, there was not enough time to lay in enough supplies for the long journey back to the old world. And you all know that every day the ship is becalmed stretches the time that the supplies that you do have must last. Of course, Captain van der Beek acts quickly to impose a rationing scheme. He also announces that rather than sail directly back to Los Cabos, the Maiden will make for the west coast of Araby, where she can resupply before continuing north. As for the rations, this rule is called starvation rations, and characters on starvation rations do not benefit from natural healing, and you suffer from now on a -10 penalty to strength, toughness, and fellowship. That said, you do not suffer any penalties from jungle heat anymore. So those disappear. I will remove them from my notes, but you do have the penalties that I've just mentioned. What this means is that not only are you eating horribly, you are eating horribly and not enough. Okay. However, Johannes, for you, the best thing about this, like there's one good thing about this whole ordeal. There are no lizards here.
Yep.
Although you, for the first few days, you couldn't help but, go on the deck from time to time and make sure that they do not follow you, swimming towards the ship.
Right.
No, and I also realized that this scenario has a lot of me reading and exposition, but that's how it's written. So you have to suffer with me as well. A lack of food and water isn't the only thing the crew of the Maiden have to worry about. On the 22nd of, I think it's still Nahexen, on the 22nd of Nahexen, the day after the wind dies, strange phenomena begin to haunt the ship. Now, I'm going to tell you all about this in a few seconds. Wait a second. On the 22nd, as the sun sets, pale blue fire is seen flickering around the masts and spars of the ship, causing much consternation among the crew. The captain reassures the men that this is St. Angus fire, a weather phenomenon that is sometimes seen at sea. Some of the old hands back him up, while others mutter that it's a sign the ship is cursed. You all, by the way, saw that phenomena on the 22nd of Nahexen. Then, on the 26th of Nahexen, during the night, an eerie light is seen from under the door to the wizard's cabin. Shortly afterwards, two of the men on the midnight watch report seeing all the ship's rats run up from the hold and dive overboard into the sea. Now, Captain van der Beek dismisses the men's story, accusing them of being drunk on watch. He sentences them to a dozen lashes apiece and stops their grog. Afterwards, however, no one can seem to find any rats aboard. This is also a good moment to mention the different reactions that the expedition leaders have to these hauntings as they grow more alarming. Now, Captain van der Beek is a constant presence on deck, watching for the return of the wind and trying to maintain discipline. All of you can see that he is visibly on edge. Magister von Stiftanzer has shut himself in his cabin with the relic priest and spends all his days and nights in study, rarely emerging into the light. Rumor has it he's gone completely mad, but unless one of you will enter his room, his quarters, you probably won't learn anything more. Mother Akela and Gustav, I would say that you've learned this. You know that she feeds the growing rumors that the hauntings are the results of a lizardman curse on von Stiftanzer and his quote-unquote frog.
I will relay that to the rest of the group. That's the new thing she's pushing.
Mm-hmm. And you know that she's talking about this to practically every sailor on board. Johannes, also something happens to you. By now, even your limited knowledge about all the things arcane and mystical, given your new Sigmar provided talent, you realize that probably this relic priest is, well, his remains are doing something to the ship. They are probably doing something to the ocean around the ship as well, and they are certainly doing something to you. Roll me a willpower test, please.
Okay.
Nice, you've passed. What this means is that you don't get an insanity point, but
Okay.
night after night, your dreams are filled with visions of Lustria and cold stare of Xathrodox's death mask. When no one's around you, you find yourselves doodling incomprehensible calculations when your attention wanders, and you hear snatches of a deep, croaking voice speaking to you in an unknown language. You make those doodles with probably the tip of your dagger in the wood when no one is looking. When you eventually snap back into reality and you look at them, they are gibberish. You don't understand any of them. You don't realize what they are, except that you know that you are sure that you knew what they are when you were making them. This is something that is terrifying to you, to your character, just so we are clear. And you don't have to tell anyone else about this, but you realize that this has probably to do something with the mummy.
Right.
Yeah, but as I said,
Gotta get this mummy off this ship.
how,
Gotta
asks
get the fucking mummy on this motherfucking ship.
Samuel L. Jackson emerges, throws the mummy back into the water. Okay, that was good. Snake.
I'm gonna talk to this Magister.
Lambert, maybe you should go visit him, asks Marla. After all, you were his, what, ward? Assistant?
I guess so. I
We-
guess I'll go over and talk to him.
We can go with you, she says, if you wish.
He just needs to shut this shit down.
I'll go with you.
I also follow you, says Marla. I don't want you to visit him alone. Johannes, you coming, or do you want to stay?
No, I'll come along.
Alright.
Okay.
Do we know that Johannes has seen like auras of magic? Or
I don't think that Johannes ever mentioned this. Remember, you remember, Johannes, what you have, this ability, is for you probably a sign from Sigmar, right? That you know how to look upon the real world. Your character probably doesn't realize that you just discovered a latent magical talent within you, so to speak. Of course, you can tell your friends about this, but also remember another thing. In the old world, you don't tell even friends and family that you can suddenly see colors or hear voices, because you know how they treat magisters with suspicion, and they treat normal people who say that with pyre or drowning them in a well. But of course, it's up to you. After all, these are your friends, so perhaps you want to tell them.
Nope.
Okay, wise man. Very wise. You all go towards the section of the ship where the Magister has his quarters. If you remember, this is the on the upper deck, near the stern castle. That's where expedition leaders have their personal quarters. Now, all of you know that von Stiftanzer has become a recluse since his return to the ship. He takes his meals in his cabin. He spends all his time cloistered with the crate containing Xathrodoxa. Yes, the crate has been placed in his quarters. So as you approach the door leading to his cabin, you can see that there are no guards there. Do you knock or do you just open the door and enter?
Sorry guys, I got to call. I'll be right back.
Okay, sure. So let's make a very quick stop. Brian, how much time do you have left?
I mean, I don't have to go at any particular time. I just have to shovel the driveway. We got a bunch of snow last night, so.
Sure. Okay. Nice. We are making good progress, good time on this.
We got like 5 inches of snow, which is pretty rare for here.
Yeah, we have lots of snow here as well. Just so you know.
Hey y'all.
Heyo.
Babysitter is getting sick. And
Okay.
I'm gonna have to go get my kids soon.
Okay. How much time we have left then?
I've got about 15 minutes.
Okay, sure. Then let's just let's do this thing with Stiftanzer and then we'll finish for today.
Okay, sorry about that, guys.
No worries. So, do you knock or do you just open the door?
I will rat-a-tat-tat knock on the door.
Yeah. The moment you all approach the door, by the way, you can smell, a plethora of very unpleasant smells coming from behind the door. It's like, you can smell sweat, urine, old food, rotten food actually, and other worse smells, by the way. It's even for this, even for a ship becalmed in the middle of the ocean, it's bad. You knock on the door. You hear that Stiftanzer is inside because you can hear him muttering, but he's not saying open, it's open or come in. It's like he didn't even register that you knocked on the door.
I will try the door handle.
It's open.
Well, let's go on in, I guess.
You open the door leading into his cabin, and his cabin is a mess. You were here once. You remember, Michael. You remember that he had, lots of crates filled with books and parchments, a well-made table, some kind of a musical device that he brought with him from Aldorf.
Yeah.
So there's like lots of furniture and fripperies that he brought with himself, and right now it's all in disarray. It looks horrible. Stiftanzer is here. And he looks like hell. First of all, he has plastered his cabin with parchment covered in scribblings of branching, you would guess to your eyes, they look like family trees, like the ones that you saw in the pyramid. And as you enter, he turns around and he says, "Oh, I'm writing a book on what the temple has shown me." He sits cross-legged across the open crate, inside which you can see the mummified remains of Xotlaloka. He is disheveled. He hasn't shaved in a very, very long time. The mummified remains of the Slan mage priest, they just look at all of you with turquoise eyes of the ancient death mask. Now I'm going to show you a handout of how his typical scribble looks. It's called aptly The Madness of Magister von Stiftanzer. It's right now in the handout section at the very top. This is how it looks.
Yep, there we are.
And things like that, they are everywhere on the walls of the cabin. They are also laying on the floor. They are complete and utter nonsense to you. scribbles of a madman who lost his touch with reality a long time ago.
I just sort of tiptoe up on so I can whisper to one of my compatriots and just say, somebody fetch the doctor, somebody fetch Akela, and somebody fetch the captain.
This is
Talk to him.
This is the truth, don't you see? What the temple was showing me in the patterns.
Please go now.
It's so clear now. Elves, men, dwarfs. We were not created in the image of the gods. We were bred from beasts as men breed dogs into more suitable forms. It's strange, but there is a terrible grandeur to it, I think. That from so simple a beginning comes so much that is wondrous and beautiful. And you can see that he looks at you, his eyes are wide, the irises are just small pinpricks in them. Even from distance you can smell the abominable breath of von Stiftanzer. It smells like a latrine. It's a vision of hell.
Hey,
I'll go get the captain.
Okay.
Johannes backs out of the room.
yeah, I don't want you guys announcing it. I want you guys going and fucking getting them.
Yeah, I would not get Mother Akela though.
I want all three. I don't give a shit what.
Marla just looks at this man with wide eyes. It's clear that she's terrified of what she sees. She actually makes a few steps back towards the door, probably semi-consciously. But yeah, this man looks half feral, and he's supposedly a magister of the Light College.
Hey, Klaus.
Why don't,
I'll be right back. I'm gonna go grab you something to eat, and I'll be happy to listen to everything you have to say.
I wouldn't.
Door behind me.
I wouldn't expect you to understand. After all, you're only apes," says Magister angrily.
Well,
Sean,
if you're able to understand it, then you can obviously teach it to us.
Sean, you were saying something?
I was just gonna say, Gustav, why don't you go get the doctor, and Marla, you go get Mama Akela, and we'll all meet back here.
Should we?
Defeats the purpose of trying to be stealthy when you're just like, hey, I'm gonna explain the whole plan right now, so the guy that we're trying not to freak out gets more freaked out.
Shouldn't we ask him about those phenomena that are happening? Asks Marla. She's practically at the door right now.
Marla, I think it would be best if you waited outside for a moment.
I'll fetch Mother Akela, she says. I think it's a good idea. And she just runs from the room.
Yeah, I've already left.
Yeah, you already left. So Gustav, you and you are, I think, the only one left, right? Because Lambert also left the room, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, well, I was asking Gustav to go get the doctor. I'm trying to stay here and keep this guy.
Oh, okay. So Gustav, you are running for Dr. Vakliger, yes?
I should be okay. I'll run for some water and some clean towels or something to help clean him up, maybe.
All right, sure. Lambert, in that case, you are staying alone with the Magister, who is no longer looking at you after he said what he had to say. He returns to gazing into the eyes of Zotlaloka's death mask. Do you do or say anything else?
I put my hand on my... did we surrender our weapons back when we came on?
Yes, you do. Only the griffins are... I mean, you have a dagger. Everyone has a dagger because it's more a tool than a weapon. But
I put my hand on my dagger. I'm not drawing it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to slowly edge around the room to where I'm behind him and just say, these are really interesting drawings. Can you explain what you've depicted here?
Wow.
And I'm trying to charm in a like, hey, show me what you're doing here, bud.
His
Cow collection.
he's he's basically just saying nonsense, effectively repeating what he already told you, that these are proof that every single race in the world does not come from the gods. They are descendants of apes, of primitive creatures, uplifted by the old ones in the ages past. That what the priests teach in the temples is of course false and it's a lie. That he has proof that the Slan told him that, and that he now understands everything. He also mentioned that this phenomena, even if you didn't ask him, he just diverted into explaining that, it's quite natural that there should be some residual energy grounding itself now that we have removed it from the temple, like sparks from a dying fire. That pyramid was a locus of power quite unlike any that has been studied before. Rest assured, Lambert, it means no harm. I have it all under control. Which you doubt that very much. He says that, by the way, he's not turning his head towards you. He constantly just gazes at the damn thing in the box. And so that's where we will end, because you need to go, Michael. The crew is running to fetch. Some of them, they're running to fetch the other leaders. Gustav went for some water, and you are staying with a madman in his very smelly, very shabby-looking cabin. Okay, so to make things quicker, I'll give you all 110 points for today. Also, a note from me: the next session will probably be the last one. We are very close to finishing this scenario. So, Sean, I would suggest that you prepare yourself, because soon we'll be running. We'll be playing COC.
Okay.
Cannot wait to play with Sean's cock.
I know. And then, probably after we finish next time, I will also tell you more about the upcoming Phoenix campaign,
Right.
including all the necessary material for you to read, character creation, stuff like that. But that's we still have some time. I'll probably just write about this on Discord. So anyway, 110 points for everyone. 115 points for Michael, as I mentioned before, because you did this thing with the rafts. As for next game, 15th of February.
Works for me.
We don't typically do anything for Valentine's Day. We do it either a week ahead or a week after.
Isn't Valentine's on 14th?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm saying, I will probably be at the house because it'll be too busy to go otherwhere.
Okay, awesome. So,
I'll
15.
be having sex for 24 hours straight.
I'll be banging my wife's snatch for 24 hours straight.
Sounds good. Sounds like a good time.
Halfway. Zog, you're gonna make me crump.
Okay, so I'll hear from you hopefully on 15th. That way, when you will be able to tell me all about your wife's snatch or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So actually, I was just kidding.
Just a bonding experience. I get it.
Yeah. Between the guys, it's all cool. Okay, so in that case, thank you very much, guys. I'll hear from you soon, and take care. Bye.
Cool. See you.
Later.